Today, we are here to share about our journey to excellence. We want to help you find out how Encore has gone above and beyond to create an excellent organization. We want to explain our journey of excellence, and we want to demystify the baldrige. You've heard this word. We want to explain what exactly that is. This will be a short session with plenty of time for questions. So we also want you to interact with us. So I'll ask you something and then you can respond in the Q&A. This session, like many others, will be recorded so you can use this presentation to share this knowledge with your coworkers. So here we go. Back in 2012, Encore took steps to ensure the success and sustainability of Encore's continuous improvement framework. As we all know, the cart was not in the ditch. We just knew that it could get even better. So our senior leaders charged the Innovation and Improvement Council with finding out what other companies were doing to remain excellent. And also, they were charged with how to address our key drivers. So what are those key drivers? Well, you might have seen these before at Encore Belt, but let me remind you. Our drivers include sustaining our employee engagement and satisfaction, remaining on the forefront of technology advancements, further enhancing the customer experience, and remaining a top-performing company. The IIC interviewed people at other companies, read books, researched best practices, and not only within utilities, but also across all different industries. They reported what they found to the SLT sponsors. And they said Encore should embrace the Baldrige criteria and Lean Six Sigma tools. So the senior leader said, go for it. And here we are. The IIC went to work and created a continuous improvement framework that would support Power On, Deliver Strong culture of innovation. Now, you may also remember this slide from Encore Belt. Here are some of other companies who have improved their businesses and become more successful after embracing process improvement, continuous improvement. They have also embraced Malcolm Baldrige, and these listed on this slide have won the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. So what exactly is Baldrige? Well, the criteria and award were first developed in the 1980s in response to a US crisis. American manufacturing was losing ground to Japanese companies. Ironically, they were taught by an American named Dr. W. Edwards Deming as part of the rebuilding effort after World War II. The Deming Prize was named in his honor in Japan in 1950 for Japanese companies to compete for a quality award. So in 1987, the US government countered with its own prize, the Baldrige Award, to encourage American companies to examine their practices, benchmark against the best companies, and make necessary changes to become leaner, faster, and more customer-oriented. With fact-based decisions and responsiveness to multiple stakeholders, it was all in a pursuit of zero defects and high performance. If you joined us at our last session, we heard from the summer preparedness team, and they got to zero outages. So exactly what we're looking for within performance excellence. So Baldrige performance criteria has 7 categories, and they flow among and within a company to create performance excellence. It begins with the highest levels of the company, our leaders, who set the strategic direction. So we move into strategy, and these strategies encompass our customers, our workforce, and our operations. Finally, that helps us realize our results and best practices. So let's talk about best practices. They are defined as a method or technique that's accepted as superior to any alternatives because it produces results that are better than those achieved by other means. Best practices help us reach our goals, improve results, and become more competitive. So now, if y'all would click on that Q&A button and type in, what are some best practices you've seen at Encore? Did you know When Encore Dock operators use proactive measures to avoid load-related switch level outages that result in zero outages, that's a best practice. Did you know when Encore crews do a tailboard every day, that's a best practice. When linemen do a safety walk around their truck before they move it, that's a best practice. And when you tape down a cord in the office so no one trips over it, that's also a best practice. There are many best practices discovered in the projects submitted for the Spirit of Innovation Award in 2019 and 2020 that we're celebrating this week. Be sure to check those videos out about each of those projects on the Innovation Week website. Let's break down how Encore's best practices meet the Baldrige criteria. So in the leadership category, Baldrige asks us, how do the senior leaders lead and govern the organization? Well, that all starts by the senior leaders creating our vision, mission, and core values. It really brings to life, they bring it to life by their own actions and their frequent communication with the workforce and stakeholders. The following part of that question is make societal contributions. And Encore does this in many ways, not only keeping people's lights on, but also through donations and the team getting together for the Heart Walk every year, United Way campaign, and many other timely donations to the communities that we serve. Now, in strategy, our senior leaders meet twice a week to discuss it, and they are constantly planning and working toward the achievement of Encore's strategic objectives. Under the customer category of Baldrige, it asks, how do you listen to your customers and determine what they want, what services meet their needs? They also ask, how do you build relationships with the customer and determine if they're happy or dissatisfied? And also engagement. Well, there's no question that Encore is a constant state of serving customer needs. We now have Power Hub, My Encore, Serve New, the Customer Contact Center, so many things to build relationships with our customers. We even have area managers who live in cities across our service territory, so they are available to listen and quickly respond to each community's specific needs. We have a chief customer officer who makes sure we are going above and beyond to serve our customers. When we move into the measurement, analysis, and knowledge management category, we see they're asking, how are we measuring, analyzing, and improving our performance? And then how do you manage your information and your organizational knowledge assets? So anyone at Encore knows there's no shortage of measurements. We're constantly trying to improve, and we need measures and analysis to see how much we have improved. Some examples include the measurements you see at the asset plan meeting, data from our smart meters, Sadie, Safi, and Katie. Data is becoming more available to the workforce, which in turn helps us make better decisions. Regarding security of our information, we have Joel's organization on constant watch to make sure everything is cyber secure and safe. In the workforce category, Baldrige asks, how do you build an effective and supportive environment for the workforce? How do you engage your employees so that they stay and we have high performance? Well, Encore is a great place to work. That's why we have long-term employees and their relatives. Some of the things that make it great are the focus on safety, the One Encore culture, Live Well program, our benefits. We even have a company nurse, competitive pay, the total rewards program, proper equipment, and so much training. Tell us in the Q&A what you like about working for Encore. The sixth category of Baldrige is operations. So they want to know, how do we design, manage, and improve our products and processes? How do we ensure effective management of our operations? Well, we are in constant state of building, repairing, and improving while our system continues to grow. Our focus on safety drives improvements. Changes in technology and equipment help us improve. Some examples are underground cable, the AMS meters, and there's so many more. Finally, The results category asks for proof of the effectiveness of the processes and systems that we had already described in the first through sixth categories. From customer satisfaction and workforce engagement to leadership outcomes and financial viability, the results area is where it all comes together and shows the proof in the pudding. So you might ask, how are we doing on our journey? Well, in 2017, we received the Pioneer Level Award from the Quality Texas Foundation, which is the state level Baldrige. Encore continues to embrace the criteria and constantly make positive changes. Most recently, the addition of listening sessions in response to recent social unrest and the addition of our new Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. That speaks directly to what Baldrige asks about being diverse and inclusive. So you may be thinking, this all sounds great, but how can I help? Well, that's simple. Do your best. When you bring your best to work each day, you're helping Encore reach excellence. When you truly listen to the customer, when you offer ideas at a staff meeting, when you work storm and make it home safe, you are supporting Encore's journey to excellence. To close this out, I will borrow the words of Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great. I see Baldrige process as a powerful set of mechanisms for disciplined people engaged in disciplined thought and taking disciplined actions to create great organizations that produce exceptional results. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Hey, Christy, we got one in. Someone wrote in. They said that that near misreporting was that also a best practice?
Absolutely, that's a great one. And I remember talking about that at a safety conference. That's just another best practice. All the safety conferences that we have. Oh, I see. Christy says Encore really cares about her health, well-being, and success. I would totally agree with that.
I think we had a lot of people had a little trouble, or a lot of people had a lot of trouble getting in the session today for some reason. So we may not have very many questions today.
Right.
But I'm glad that this is going to be recorded and that people can grab it and take it with them if they have questions about what is this Baldrige thing, where are we in that journey, just what is that. And I hope everybody really understood that it's not a scary overreaching thing. It's just something that's so simple. And it's just a great criteria to sort of judge yourself by what you say you are.
Right. Well, when I first learned about Baldrige, I decided then and there I would not work for an organization that wasn't on a Baldrige journey. So it brings people and it supports the workforce to just make the customers happy.
Here's someone else that said, I'm truly learning a lot and enjoying all that Encore has to offer. This is good information on Baldrige. It gave me more insight on what we're trying to do as a company.
Absolutely. It all merges together, weaves together to create excellence.
I always call it like a recipe.
Right.
Okay, let's go ahead and shut this down. Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you for being a Baldrige judge and knowing so much about this. I know there's a lot of Baldrige examiners now across our company. I hope that if people have any questions about how they can become a Baldrige examiner, it's such a great thing to do and learn how to look at a process and learn how to use that criteria. Encore has probably a dozen Baldrige examiners now. And we go each year and we learn about it and we go and do examinations. It's just great training. It's hard. It's time consuming and exhausting, but so worth it. once you live
So
through it.
insightful.
So insightful. So if you have any questions about that, give us a call. Call me, call Christy. We're together a lot. So thank you so much, and appreciate all of y'all being on here today. So thanks again.
Thank you.